Hey guys, it is me, Tanya, founder of the T&G Designs Group Limited. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. Now, in this particular video, we're going to be talking about, do startups need branding? And I can probably just cut this on from 2 minutes, right? But of course they need branding. But I'm going to be sharing with you specific reasons as to why they need branding, specifically from a startup point of view, because there's a lot to be making sure that they get off on the right foot, and especially to get themselves out there in the best possible kind of a way. Obviously all dealing with the idea of congruency and the ways that they can actually stand out according to their standards and their beliefs, more importantly. Now, before I get stuck into this particular video, please make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel, because I share content just like this for startups, for existing business owners, for brands who are just getting themselves out there, for brands who are wanting to continuously make sure that they're stepping up and showing up in the best possible kind of a light. I showcase videos just like this, helping others to see that they are more than what they see. Because that phrase right there, that aspect right there, is super key and important to be able to make sure that as many people as possible know and understand it, but more importantly, know and understand the fact that they are actually representing a hell of a lot more than what they actually feel and believe. So, before I get stuck into this video, please make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel for that very reason, and also stick around to the very end, because as always, I've got a way to make sure that you keep actioning and keep the momentum going off the back of watching my video. So let's get stuck into it. So okay, as I said, we are going to be talking about, do startups need branding? Now, as I shared with you, yes is the long and short of the answer. And I want to share with you 3 particular reasons in particular as to why they actually need branding. Now, you would have seen a few of my other videos talking about something similar to this, whether from a small business point of view, or maybe from a corporate business brand point of view, or even a personal brand point of view. This particular video aimed towards the idea of a startup and them getting themselves out there in the best possible kind of a way, so that they can get noticed, so that they can stand out and show up more specifically to the audience that they really want to be in front of, number one, and number 2, to the audience that they also really want to work with. So that being said, let's get stuck into the first thing that you really, or that they really need to be able to understand. And I'm going to say you, because if you're continuously watching this video, that means that you're also a startup. That also means that you're ready to just make sure that you're actually getting yourselves onto the right foot as well. So the first reason why branding is super important, and why specifically startups need branding to begin with, is because it helps them to stand out. I've just been talking about this literally just a few minutes ago. The idea of branding and what it can do for a person, and especially for a brand, especially for a startup, especially for a small business, however big your business is, the idea of branding is immense in the grand scale of your business and what it is that you're doing, having the longevity that it actually deserves. Now, when you get to grips with what your brand is, and there are many ways to go about doing it, but my specific way is starting at your VPV. Now, go back and watch a few of my videos, specifically one that actually talks about what your VPV actually is. It's all about your brand power of 3 is what I've coined it to be. And with your brand power of 3, it essentially helps you to set the foundation of your brand. With your brand power of 3, you're going to know how to stand out with your values. You're going to know how to stand out with the purpose as to why you're really doing what you're doing. But equally, also going to know what the vision is for your business, for your entity, for your brand, and what you want to do with its awareness. Because if you are not talking about these things, if you are not constantly sharing out that message for what it is that you're actually wanting to stand for, well then the way that you are speaking to people, the way that you are talking to people in general, your audience that you are addressing, the message is going to be muddled. The way that you are approaching them is going to be muddled. It's going to be confused. And when people are confused, they tend to take a few steps back. So how are you making sure that they're going to start taking a few steps forward? Well, you do that by way of your brand. Your brand will help you to, as I said, step up, stand out, and show up more specifically, but equally stand out against all those who are actually doing something similar to you as well. Because I'm sure you agree, we are living in a beautiful big wide world. And there are so many businesses out here, so many brands out here, making sure that they are also singing themselves their praises. And they are celebrating that fact. So what are you doing to do the same? What are you doing to even make sure that you are equally being celebrated, you are being talked about, and you are actually spreading the message as to what it is and how it is that you can actually help people? What is that for yourself? Now, the second reason as to why startups need branding, it kind of leads on to what I've just been talking about, essentially. The way that you're reaching out to people. Essentially, you're all about making better connections. When you are making better connections with the message that you are sharing now, with the information, your values, your vision and your purpose as to the real reason why you're doing what you're doing, when you are constantly sharing that and actually approaching things with value to begin with first, that's when people's ears start perking up. That's when people start paying attention. But equally, more importantly, that's when people start understanding that, you know what, I can really relate to this person. I can really relate to the idea of what this business is about, or this product or this service is about, and I can really understand how they are going to be helping me. How they are going to be helping me. That phrase and that question that a customer or an audience of yours may have can only come about if they get it to begin with. If they understand your journey, if they understand what it is or how it is that you can actually help them. They're only going to be getting that question if you're actually making that clear, and if also you are bringing the value to the table. One thing I will always say to everybody, especially when you're a startup, especially when you're making your name known, get to grips and understand, know, and more importantly, believe all the value that you know that you can bring to the table. Because, folks, as much as we are in this beautiful, big wide world, there are also going to be people out here to challenge us. So when you are challenged, how are you going to know to stand up for yourself? How are you going to know to make sure that with the values and my beliefs and with my vision and my purpose, I know the path that I need to be on. I know the direction I need to be heading in. So let me not get distracted by all this negative noise or by anything else that is going on against what it is that I'm doing. In a positive way, of course, you move forwards, right? You move forwards. All because you know what your value is, and all because you know what you bring to the table. Now, the third thing. The third reason why businesses, and specifically startup businesses, need branding is simply because it starts positioning yourself. And when I talk about positioning yourself, I'm talking about the idea of putting yourself in that authoritative tone, or helping yourself to stand out again, but with the knowledge and with the value that you know that you bring to the table. So when you have that in mind, when you bring the value, when you have the knowledge and expertise around what it is that you are doing, the real reality of that, you keep sharing that. And as you keep sharing that, the audience that you're now making better connections with will understand it too. They will really appreciate that value, and they will really appreciate the fact that, you know what, this person's constantly giving me the value. They're constantly helping me to understand even more so. Versus Jesse or Joe Blogs down the road who doesn't actually do that. And I know they kind of do something similar, but I know I'm going to get it better value over here. All because you shared it, and all because you've now positioned yourself with your brand to help you to stand out, to help you to make those better connections, and equally start getting the results that you're intending and wanting to look for as well. So, I really hope that this video helped you. Please share it with all like-minded people, specifically those who are startup businesses. Whether they are in the game for literally a few months to a year, however it may be, share this video with them, because it's going to help them to rethink a few things, and it's going to help them to just understand a few little tweaks that they can make in order to be able to make sure that they keep pushing themselves forwards, and more importantly, to keep that momentum going. And on the note of keeping the momentum going, here's what I'd like you to do next. Underneath this video, there is a link, and it's actually the first link, so I'd like you to actually click on it. When you click on that first link within the description box below this video, you're going to be taken to a page. Yes, you're going to be asked for just a few details, but I need those details in order to be able to send you some really key information, which is essentially a checklist of all guides and principles, all to do with the idea of standing out as a brand specifically. It'll help you from knowing what your brand should be, whether you feel like you know it or not. This will actually help you to determine if these are the right things for yourself in the first place. Then it will take you on to the idea of making those better connections, how you can make those better connections, what else can you do to make those better connections. Then it will also take you through to the idea of, do you know what? Okay, I'm now making these better connections. I now know what my brand is. So now, how else am I going to get my ideas out there? How else are people going to be hearing me? Well, these principles are going to help you to understand how else people can start hearing from you. Now, that can only happen, of course, if you actually start taking the action and if you actually do something about it. Because if you're the type of person who is literally hitting and hoping, throwing things at a wall, fingers crossed, something's gonna stick, right? You've got that kind of attitude, which is kind of cool to begin with. However, do not continue that, because that's how you start wasting your time. Now, I'm sure you can appreciate time is, oh my goodness, is it of the essence. And with so much technology changing, with so many things out there, there's a lot to get to grips with. So if you have the knowledge to begin with and the understanding of branding in specific, you're going to know the different avenues that you should actually be taking, and things are going to start being more purposeful. All because you've understood your brand, and all because you know where you want to take your brand, and all because you now know what you can do with your brand. So go ahead and click on that link that's in the description box below. Make sure you go ahead and like, subscribe to this channel, and I will see you on the other side.